If your base is really Midwestern voters, if your sort of great selling point is that you can bring over white working class voters, then why should women of color believe that you are their champion?
Okay, good. Here we go. First of all, we have to do both to win, all right? And there, we have to do both. You look at what happened in this last election. You think of the anniversary, Shirley Chisholm, the first woman, African-American woman in Congress. Guess what? 50 years later to the day, for the first time, we elected 20 African-American women to Congress. That is the arc of justice, and we need more. Certainly in the last election, when you look at how close we were in states, if Stacey Abrams, the great Stacey Abrams, by the way, if she had had a fair shot with the election, she would have won that governorship of Georgia, and we saw change across the country. So how would I lead this ticket, and why am I the one to do it? First of all, I can't pretend to be in your shoes. I'm in one of your shoes as the first woman in many of the jobs I've had, and I know what it's like to be in that room when people aren't taking you seriously. But I can't imagine what it would be like to be the woman who was in the maternity room in that hospital in New Orleans that's telling her doctor that her fingers are swelling and he's not listening and she loses her baby. Or what it's like to be a vice president as a company, someone I know who goes shopping and then gets followed by store security. That happened. I can't imagine what it is like to make, African-American woman to make 61 cents an hour compared to what a man makes, right? A white man. That's wrong. But what I can tell you is that my entire life I have fought for justice. I fought for justice in the Senate. I've been a lead on many of those bills involving voting. Sherrod Brown and I are leading the bill to stop the voting purges, because if you want a seat at the table, you can't be on the menu, and you've got to be able to vote in this democracy. So that's my first thing. The second thing is looking at our economy, where African-American women have not been treated fairly. And if we want an economy that works for everyone, we have to make these leaders in these companies understand that they've got high-paying jobs open in the technology field. The answer is in this room, right? Those are the people that should be applying for their jobs. And the first, one of the first bills that this president, who I believe has turned his back on African-American women, that this president signed into law was a bill I led that allowed more women and created incentives for women of color to get into the STEM fields. Yeah. Did he invite me to the bill signing? No, he did not. But it was my bill. And so when we look...
And Senator,
and so
we're almost out of time.
And I will end with this. It was Barbara Jordan from this great state who once said that what Americans want is something quite simple. They want a country as good as its promise. Let's make good on this promise.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Senator.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.